Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the pre-market video from Equity Guys. My name is Chirag, an ISM certified technical analyst, and let's get into the view for today. So, as we saw yesterday, S1 was respected, and the 15-minute high was broken on the upside, and as a result, we had a immediate rally on the upside. So the view yesterday did work out in that aspect. So regarding what is happening today, we see Nifty futures trading at a premium of 42 points and Bank Nifty futures trading at a premium of 39 points. Moving over to the India VIX section, we see India VIX is also trading at a positive of 1.45%, which is slightly bearish, and then the futures data is also bullish in that aspect. Moving on to crude oil is trading at 5,612 levels. 5,612 levels is below pre-COVID levels, and which is 6,500. So the overall view for Nifty is bullish there. And moving over to Gift Nifty, we see a gap down today. A gap down of about 60 points is what we see compared to a Nifty futures here. So let's see if that gap down will sustain or will there be a V-shaped recovery. Moving on to gold bees and silver bees, we see that gold bees is down 1.40% and silver bees is down 1.38%. Looking at this data, we can see that people have probably started moving over their positions from gold and silver back into the cash market. So let's see if that cash market move from basically commodities to cash market will sustain today too. Looking at the sectoral indices, we see that all the key sectors are up. So we see real estate, auto, bankex, and even IT, all of them being extremely positive. So the sectoral indices are all positive, and is looking very bullish today. Moving over to the stocks, we see that there were almost 1,604 stocks closing in the advances and almost 1,413 stocks closing in the declines. So we have a very bullish sentiment in the market today regarding how the stocks are closing. Moving over to the FIDI data, we see there is a selling of 1,200 crores in the cash market for FIIs, but DIIs are strong with the buying, almost 5,000 close to 6,000 crores of buying in the cash market from the DIIs. Moving over to the FNO segment. In the FNO segment, there is a lot of buying in index futures from FIIs here. There is buying from FIIs in index futures, and looking at stock futures, we also see almost about 2,400 crores of buying in stock futures. From an intraday perspective, this is extremely positive because the FIIs are back in the market for the from an intraday perspective, and this is definitely a positive sentiment in the market. Looking at the advance decline ratios for Nifty, we see almost 46 advances and only 3 declines, and all the key sectors are in advances. And looking at Nifty Bank, 11 advances and 1 decline, which is extremely bullish both on Nifty and Bank Nifty. Finally, moving on to the option chain section of things, on the right side we have puts which are seeing selling of in the money and out of the money, and on the left side we have calls which is seeing buying in the money and a little bit of selling out of the money here. So overall we can say that the option chain is bullish here. So, looking at the option chain being mostly bullish here, we are trying to see where the market will come take support and then move up again. So, these levels are mostly near 24,500 levels. That's where the most amount of volumes are. So, we can definitely expect the market to most probably take support from those levels if it does have to take any support. Finally, moving on to the put call ratio, calculating the put call ratio here, we can see it is exactly at around 1, and because it's around 1, we can say that the put call ratio is at a neutral level in Nifty, so it can move either way. Moving on to the major global indices, we definitely see that the US is on the negative side, with all the indexes being on the negative side in the US. Dow Jones almost 0.5% down, S&P 500 0.25% down, and even Nasdaq down 0.3%. Moving over to Europe, Europe you see DAX is down 0.34%, FTSE is up 0.37%, and CAC is down 0.57%. So overall, when we're looking at Europe and US, we have a negative sentiment coming from both of those areas. Finally, moving on towards the Asian markets, Nikkei is open and running at about 2.14%. Kospi is open and running at about 0.93% positive. So those two are extremely positive data for the Indian markets. Looking at the nature of the Nikkei chart, we can see that there was a gap up there and then the rally continued again on the upside. Although we are facing a little bit of gap down, we can sort of see the same nature where there could be a gap down, but from there we can see a recovery and we can see it moving up in the Indian stock market, kind of following the same way Nikkei did with the same opening. So that could be a possibility of what can happen in the Indian stock market. Looking at a list of Indian ADRs here, so the Indian ADRs, we definitely see that there is quite a bit of selling in Indian ADRs, which is not at all good. We see big companies like Infosys, Wipro, ICICI, and HFC all seeing, some good amount of selling here. Infosys with a slight bit of selling, but everybody else almost more than point 3 5% selling is what we can see here, which is definitely bearish in nature. Looking moving over to the futures index here, or the futures aspect of things, US 30 is trading at a positive of 0.6%, US 500 is trading at a positive of 0.08%, and US Tech 100 is trading at a positive of 0.07%, right? So everything in the positive areas here, just very very slightly positive here, but again slightly bullish for the Indian market itself. Finally, moving on to the view for today. The view for today is definitely a buy on dip market. So, looking at how the candle closed yesterday, we kind of see a bullish engulf forming in the day time frame, and we can see again the support and resistance is marked. The main thing is again we should not be falling below S1. We should be moving towards R1, R2, and R3. R2 is again a key important level. If we close above R2, which is 24,634, we will definitely see a positive move there. Another thing that we can observe is on the 1 hour time frame, we see a perfect trend line that is formed here, and we have to close above this trend line here today, which is definitely a positive move again towards that 24,600 levels, and then we can see a positive move on the upside there. So apart from that, you guys don't trade on your emotions, trade with your setup. Make sure you guys are focused in the live markets. You can also just focus on what you have to trade one indices, one time frame, and hope you guys have a great day trading. See you guys tomorrow.